All right, over a year ago, one of our lovely customers and viewers asked us to review the Greenlife Conroe grill, and we forgot several times, and then he reminded us this spring, and we're finally doing it. So today, I'm gonna unbox this guy, talk about it, use it, show you how it works, talk about the pros and cons. Let's get at it. Okay, so this is the medium Conroe from Greenlife. I'm just gonna unbox it and tell you about it. Greenlife, they do a few sizes. We carry the large and the medium. It's a very simple construction, all made out of steel, just comes with a few spare parts. Ta-da! It's a good kind of size if you're gonna cook for like 2 to 4 people. The big guy I would have if I'm gonna cook for more like 4 to 8 people on the regular. And here's how it's put together. You've got the outer body, which is made of not stainless steel, just plain old steel. And it's got all these little perforations to help with air convection to keep the outside cool. And then you've got the inner body, which is double walled. You don't have any fire brick or anything like that reinforcing it or insulating it. You just have 2 layers of steel. The idea is these double air pockets, the one here and the one that's created by the inner and outer pieces, help keep the outside of the grill cool so it doesn't get really hot even though it's made out of steel. You got one air vent on the side there, which lines up with this little sliding door, which you just slide back and forth. That allows you to control your airflow and your temperature. Really simple plastic feet on the bottom. I find these don't stay on extremely well, so just keep an eye on them. You can always get replacements if you need. So you got a little perforated tray for the charcoal, which you just put in like so. That lifts it up from the bottom of the grill a little bit, stops the bottom of the grill from getting crazy hot, but more importantly allows airflow, allows ash to fall off of the Conroe. And then the insert is made so that you can just tip it and all the ash will fall out of that lower tray. Pretty handy. It's got a handle, so you can carry it. Ooh. You can also do 10-pound curls if you feel like. This thing is about 4.5 kilograms, so like 9 or 10 pounds. It doesn't feel like it though. It is an extremely light grill. We've got obviously the grate, one of the most important parts of the grill. It's the thing you cook on. Because charcoal can get extremely hot, got a couple of little handly things here. These lock in to the inner insert. The grate lifts up about an extra 1.5 inches or so because of those little thingies there. And that just allows you to get further away from the charcoal if the charcoal's getting too hot. If you want to cook things a little more slowly, maybe you want to render out some pork belly or something. You're not going to be switching back and forth while you're cooking because these are going to get pretty hot. So you want to pick ahead of time. Are you going to cook closer to the coals or a little higher up? And I think the last detail is these perforations, in addition to allowing airflow through the grill, they also allow you to set skewers at a bit of an angle, a little more elevated over the grill if you don't want direct contact with a grate. So that's kind of cool. This medium Greenlife is about 4.5 kilos, around 10 pounds or so. The big guy is 6 kilos. This guy's 39 by 29 centimeters, and the bigger one is 45 by 30 centimeters. Again, you can cook for about 2 to 4 people comfortably on this guy. You can cook comfortably for up to about 8 people on the bigger one. Let's do some cooking, talk about the grill. This is a mid-range grill, so I figured we use mid-range charcoal. It's gonna burn a lot hotter and longer than your standard briquettes or your lump charcoal, but it's also a lot more cost-effective than the Japanese Binchotan, and you get about 90% of the heat and burn time as you would with just a really great, well-priced charcoal. Quick shout out to Fireballs. I discovered these recently for lighting charcoal. We carry them now because they're awesome. It's just a mix of wax and wood chips. It burns for about 20 minutes, which is as long as you need to light your charcoal. I really like having a pair of these King Tong tweezers when I am working with charcoal because they allow me to manipulate food as well as move my charcoal around and put it in my grill. So we got some food we prepared a minute ago. I've just done a single layer of coals on here. You are not going to need more than that. Good charcoal gets really, really hot. And we're just gonna see, well, we're gonna see how hot. The nice thing about charcoal is once the charcoal itself is hot, the grates of the grill heat up in a minute or 2. And so you can get cooking right away. And while this grill is brand new, I have used one of these before. And so I've got some thoughts I can share with you, before it really gets cooking. First of all, the compact, lightweight nature makes them great for camping, picnics, anywhere where you're going to be bringing a grill to a location. I've got one of those big traditional Japanese Conroes made from diatomaceous earth, and it's awesome, but it's extremely heavy. It's like 40 pounds, and it's not great for bringing camping. I don't recommend it. These super lightweight and big enough to grill up some dogs, some burgers, some steak, whatever you feel like doing. As you can see or hear, it's crackling right away. Like I said, that charcoal gets hot right away. Obviously that's more a feature of the charcoal than the grill, but the cool thing is, because of that air convection, because of all the holes in the side of the grill, outside's not really getting hot. It's a little warm up front by that vent. We'll keep an eye on it to see how it does. The Greenlife only has a vent on one side, so you're not gonna get the cross breeze that you do with some of the bigger Conros. And so that might be one downside. It's not gonna get quite as hot as it would if you had two vents going and getting a lot of air flowing through there. But as long as you get your charcoal hot before you load it into the grill, you'll be fine. So this grill does one of the most important things of a charcoal grill. It gets hot, it's got a good airflow. The charcoal gets and stays hot really nicely. The main downside, if you're considering kind of choosing between a Greenlife and a more traditional Japanese Conro grill, it's made with diatomaceous earth. That diatomaceous earth insulates extremely well. The steel does not, right? It insulates well enough that the outside of the grill doesn't get super hot. It's not gonna radiate heat quite as intensely as those more traditional grills do. That said, if you're looking for your first grill, the Greenlife is gonna be a more cost-effective option, and it gives you probably at least 80% of the cooking power that a more traditional Conro will. One of the coolest parts about this Conro, besides its visual design, is that it doesn't get super hot on the outside. Despite being made out of steel, you can touch it. It's maybe warm to the touch, I wouldn't say cool to the touch. The top piece here gets quite hot, but the sides, because that convection, stay relatively cool. And the underside of the grill also stays relatively cool. So you don't need to be cooking on stainless like I am today. You can cook on a wooden table. You could cook on a plastic table. I might be careful about that, but I have definitely used these on surfaces like wood without any issues. And if necessary, the handle is tall enough that you can pick it up while it's full of charcoal. You won't burn your hand. Just don't hold it like this for very long, because it is getting warm. But you can pick it up and carry it around for about 20 seconds. Now the main downsides of these grills, when you compare them to a larger charcoal grill or even a gas grill, maybe even the larger traditional Conros, they're small. This is the medium one, and you can squeeze 2 steaks on here, but if you want to do a full grilled dinner, especially if it was for more than 2 people, you couldn't, right? I could get a couple of steaks on here, and while I'm resting, maybe grill my broccolini, and I can make that work for sure. But if I'm doing that for more than 2 people, it's gonna struggle. Where it's gonna be fine for cooking for a bit of a crowd is if you're just kind of banging out skewers slowly. Maybe you wanna just cook 6 to 8 skewers at a time and pass them off to people as they come off the grill. If that's how you're intending to cook, it'll work great. If you do think you'll be making larger dinners, or you expect to grill, every component of the dinner, go for the large. It's definitely worth the extra $60 or so. Because I am a bit more limited by having this grill high or low, I got maybe a little too hard of a sear, perhaps a char even, on the squash. It still tastes fine, right? I don't think your friends are gonna complain if you're feeding them, but it's a little burnt. If you do like to get a little more technical with your grilling, that's where you're gonna want maybe the large Greenlife or even a ceramic Conro. Quick wrap up, pros and cons. The cons are that it's pretty small and it doesn't have the thick diatomaceous earth walls that a traditional Japanese Conro does. That's gonna limit you a bit as far as the amount of food you can make and how long you can cook for. It's not gonna radiate heat quite as intensely as a traditional Conro, but the price tag is much lower. So if you're looking for your first grill and you're on a tighter budget, go for this guy. If you want something small and lightweight that you can chuck in the back of your car or even keep in the back of your car and take traveling with you, this guy's small, it's easy to carry around. I can make food for several friends on this guy, no problem. And it's a really cool looking grill. It's also a bit easier to clean than the traditional Conro because it's not 45 pounds and it does come apart into pieces. Just keep in mind that it is not stainless steel, so you are gonna need to dry it off well afterwards, and you are not gonna wanna store it outside or it will rust on you. I already have a big fancy Conro. I think I'm gonna get this little guy because it's the polar opposite. It does all the same things, but it's way easier to transport, and I'm gonna use it specifically if I wanna go over to a friend's house or go camping and bring a Conro with me. You can grab this grill and all of the gear that I use today, linked below, or in Knifewear, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, Vancouver, and Toronto. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to see a direct comparison between this and a traditional Conrail, we've got a video on that. If you want to learn more about cooking over charcoal, about Japanese kitchen knives, check out our other videos, and we'll see you in the next one. That is damn delicious.